Hey there, how are you? I am currently in bed. Hello from my bed because I'm recovering from a flu. I've had the flu for a week. I just filmed my Patreon Q&A for this month, and one of the questions I got was about style, and that's a question I get a lot. It's also something that I see a lot of people struggling with, and it gets them down. And so I wanted to share my answer to the question about style because I felt that it was applicable to so many people. You have to excuse me for my shaky cam. I'm having to hold my camera in bed, and I'm also sorry for my little bit nasally voice, but I hope you enjoy my answer to it. I decided to make an exception and share my answers to my dear patrons' Q&A questions this time around because I felt that it was a pretty concise and pretty useful answer of my philosophy about art style and having an art style that I hope are useful to many people. So I hope you enjoy my answer and that this video is useful to you. Bye! The next question she asked was also, have you ever latched onto a style you thought of as uniquely your own? How did you come about it? I think about this a lot, and I'm wondering if other artists obsess about it as much as I do. Really good question. The answer to the first, hold on, I'm just going to change hands because this hand is knackered now from holding the camera. Right. Hello. The first part, in terms of how I ever latched onto a style that was uniquely mine, the answer would be yes. It was the Fluid Serendipity series. I came about that because I was just playing with some water and acrylic on watercolor paper, because I used to paint on canvases. I used to love painting on canvases, but anyone that's painted with canvas will tell you that they end up taking up like your space, your house very quickly, because each canvas is like this thick. And somebody suggested, because I live in such a small apartment, maybe I need to paint on paper rather than canvases. So I tried that, and I really liked what the acrylics looked like with lots of water. Now I have to let you know, normally you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't add too much water to acrylic if you're painting on canvas, whereas you can add a lot more water to the acrylic if you're painting just one layer on paper, because the paper is absorbent and it just holds onto the paint better. I think it's like if you add more than 10% or 20% of water to paint, if you're going to paint on canvas, your paint will peel off. That's what all the mediums are for. So if you want a more translucent look in acrylic on canvas, you should always use acrylic mediums like the gel type or even the liquid type. But if it's on paper, it's not so bad. And I really loved the effect of how colors spread on the paper when I wet it with acrylic. And I just kept playing with that and playing with that, and I just kept following what fascinated me. And that's what I always tell people when they're like, oh, I don't know what my style is, I don't know how to find my style. I always say, just pay attention to what really interests you. What are you like, oh, this is really interesting effect, what can I do with it, how can I develop it? And just follow that instinct. That's all creating a style is basically you have a whole range of possibilities of what you can do in your art to begin with, and it's just process of elimination, getting rid of stuff that are the shoulds, the ones that you feel like you should be able to do as an artist. Just get rid of those and only follow what really lights your fire and what you find interesting, because you have to be interested in it first and foremost, because if that becomes your style, then you're going to have to be doing that for a long time. So you might as well make it something that is very interesting to you. And for me, that's color. And for me, that's effects and this chance encounters. That's why my first series is called Fluid Serendipity. because I felt that I was only partly in control and most of it was down to chance, down to serendipity. And I got to go on a journey of discovering, looking for these beautiful pieces out of something that was created through chance. And I really, really love that about that kind of creating art where I'm not fully in control. Because when you try to be in control of everything that is in your art, for me personally, that felt like if it didn't work out, it was all your fault. Whereas if you left a lot of it to chance, if it didn't work out, that's fine, you just do some more and it's not your fault. Right? So that's the kind of thing I like. But you just have to follow what you like. And every time I hear people go, hey, I don't know what my style is and I'm really bogged down about it, and it really gets people down, and I wouldn't worry about it so much. I feel like art style is a bit like self-confidence, in that other people can see your confidence a lot easier than you do. You could feel not confident, but people will see you as confident, right? And it's the same with style. You might not see your style, but other people see it really easily. And we just shouldn't worry about it so much. I just feel that chasing style isn't as important as enjoying the creative process, making sure that your creative process, the time you spend in creating art, is filled with stuff that you're interested in, that you enjoy. Each and every technique you use, all the colors you use, you enjoy. Hold on, I need to swap arms again because it's hurting my hands. And just ensuring that your creative practice is the one you want to spend time in, and then whatever comes out of that, whether people see that as your style or not, whether you see it as your style or not, won't matter as much if you are really enjoying how you're creating those pieces, and that you're painting the things that you enjoy painting. And I want to say a little side note on that one. What you end up finding easy or enjoyable in creating might not be the same as the kind of genre of art you enjoy looking at. Like, I love looking at landscape and portraits. I love looking at botanical art, but I have no patience for those things. And it took me ages to figure out that what I appreciate in art might not be my art style. I like really loose, fast, non-accurate, just I want to express energy. And that's why I enjoy creating art the most. Whereas I can draw like effectively portraits and landscapes, and I can do it pretty accurately if I want to, but I get so bored of doing it. Like, I just don't have the patience for it. And the more I try to force myself to do styles that I felt I should because I appreciated it, but it didn't match with my personality, I got really, really bogged down by that, and I got really depressed, and I just wasn't enjoying creating art. So I gave that up, and I now stick to fast and loose things that was full of energy instead. And I'm okay with the fact that I cannot create the kind of art I appreciate. That's okay. I don't have to, as long as I enjoy the creative process. It just, all this thing about feeling like you have a style or enjoying the final piece becomes almost irrelevant when you really enjoy how you created that piece. And when you're enjoying the process, you just don't care about the end result. You're just so focused on what you're going to create next in that process, because you just can't wait to get back in there and do it again. So that's my advice to anyone that's worrying about your style, is just take the need for knowing what your style is with a pinch of salt, and focus on creating a creative practice that is filled with only things that you enjoy doing, so that you look forward to those creative practice times.